on YouTube and welcome back to the channel. Today we have the profile of Dark Irregulars with my man Jason. If you guys don't know, Jason is the one who always plays Dark Irregulars in premium and standard format. He actually whipped my ass with Dark Irregulars in premium format at regionals. I was quite upset about it, but it happens. Anyways, we got the profile of the new support for Dark Irregulars, and Jason's gonna take it away and break it down.
Alright, hey guys. So I'm just gonna start with the triggers first. For this deck, I'm gonna start with 4 draw trigger PGs, just in case you decide to do Protect 2. You always have to have Sentinels as backups. Okay. Next, we're gonna do 8 crits. I really just like a crit heavy build. Personally, I think when filtering, which this deck does very well, you filter so much that every drive check just becomes really scary. I like to keep pressure on from Vanguard, and whenever blocked, everything else on the rear guard is still constant pressured with crits now.
Is this the build you use in tournament?
Yeah. This is the one that Eric borrowed off of me.
Oh, cool.
And 4 heals because you'd be a dummy not to have heals in deck. And now we're gonna go into grade 1s. So we're gonna start with 4 Yellow Bolt, great right target, good draw engine in the beginning, and beat stick on his own. Oh.
Damn it, it's his first time. It's his first time.
I'm done. Alright, but yeah, let me just... So, yeah. So, good attack target on his own. He becomes a 13k, so you can hit Force Clans. He soul charges, and good right target on the beginning. So, when you ride over him, you soul charge 2. If you soul charge a trigger, you get the draw card off of that. So, good soul charge engine on that part. Okay. Next, we're going to be doing Variant Killtail. Honestly, one of the greatest DI counterchargers, in my opinion. Especially depending on matchup. Anything that's kind of supporting their own field, this card just kind of really lets loose. Fixes soul stability for combos with hard wave. Fixes soul count, so if you need to, get 1 more in soul, that's your card. And it countercharges, which is really important because a lot of times you're going to have some heavy counter-blasting turns. So this will really help fix your turns up and set you up for good kills. Next, Ira and Mega Wing. I think Mega Wing is really good for certain matchups, like Shadow Paladin and Kagero. Can't be retired, and it's a constant 17k. So this is always a 17k attacker, as long as you have at least 2 copies of her in soul. So best scenario, you have 2 in soul, and you can have like 2 on rear guard, 1 behind Vanguard, 1 attacking. Can't be retired, and it's also a good target for your Brufus turn. If you have 3 grade 3s in soul, you target this. Not only is it a 17k booster on Brufus, but Brufus gets an additional 17k, and best part is this card doesn't die. So I think that's great. Next, gonna have 4 Emblem Master. Emblem Master, I think, is a staple for almost all DI decks for now. It's a 14k attacker as long as you have 8 in soul. It is a 10k interceptor shield, so it guards for grade 1 status. And also, if you play it with Protect 2, just 1 Protect marker underneath it is equal to a heal trigger, which I think is really useful. It fixes your soul, searches for your combo pieces to put in your soul, also searches for them off of drop zone and in deck. You have to have a copy of the card that you're targeting on the rear guard or on the Vanguard. So you could also search for copies of your Vanguard, target them, put them in soul. So now you have at least 2 3s in soul. Brufus is online on like your first grade 3 ride, and you just start immediately pressuring with crits. And this is one of the kill pieces, Variant Hard Leg. So Variant Hard Leg is a very useful kill move. You combo it with Death Anchor and with Brufus. So in order to get this card's skill active, you have to have 3 copies of 3 different cards in your soul. By different, I mean you can have 3 copies of, for example, Mega Wing. You have 3 copies of Kill Tail. You can have 3 copies of Emblem Master in your soul, and its on-place effect is immediately active. So its on-place effect is when your opponent is to guard, they have to have 3 or more cards in the guard circle from hand if they guard from hand. So when you combo that with a turn where you ride Death Anchor and you call that out, every single time they guard, they gotta do 3 from hand, which really just kind of deletes hand power. And then we're gonna round up the 2s with Ruthven. I just think Ruthven is a really good soul fixer along with Kill Tail. I don't run the combo piece that comes with them, the grade 1 from the older set. I'd rather prefer him just to fix my soul, get certain cards in soul to round them up to 3 to fix up variant hard leg to get the combo fixed.
You know that, right, John? You get 2 crit on the rear guard if you do this.
I run 2 Numbers of Terror. Right now I think Numbers of Terror is pretty decent in the deck. On place 10k, so he's a 22. He's really good for draw really early on if you were to soul charge enough. And also he's a 10k shield. So a grade 3 that has use defensively and offensively, in my opinion, is very good. And also actually on Death Anchor turn, this is a good target to keep out on rear guard. After you place him and he's a 10k, any triggers you check, you stack them on him. And so when he swings after Death Anchor, you use Brufus effect after you did the rerun, and you target him, and you get a lot of power off of him. I run 3 copies of Death Anchor. So there's like a saying in Dark Irregular, you know, if you ride Death Anchor first, you'll never see another card. So I actually believe that. So personally, I run 3. I don't want to see him early. I want to see him as late as possible. And what's really nice is if you soul charge him early, you can use Brufus to search him early. So you can get 1 in hand, and not only did you filter, you set up your kill turn, you have 1 in hand for later in the game. So if you don't know what he does though, on place, soul charge 1 gets 2k for every card in soul. And if you have 13 in soul and you have at least 3 rear guards, you can counterboss 1 after the battle, eat 3 rear guards, eat a card from hand, and then reride a grade 3 from soul. You could ride another copy of him, or you could do what I would do, which is to ride the new VR, which is Brufus, which I can show you. So Brufus, this bothers me. Brufus is the new grade 3, so he has 2 effects. One of them is to counterblast, and you search your deck for a card that's a copy in your soul for up to 3 copies. If you have a copy in your soul, you can soul charge 2 of them and add 1 to hand, which I think is really useful. You add your combo piece to your hand, so if you have variant hard leg and soul, you can just add 1 to hand directly from deck. You set up for your kill move right there. If you only have 1 Mega Wing in soul, you can use the effect to target 3, add 3 to soul, add 1 to hand, or 2, it just Mega Wing's effects online. Kill Tail, if you have only 1 copy of Kill Tail in soul, you could just target her, get the 3 copies, 1 to hand, the rest to soul, call it, effect's now active already. And it combos really well with Death Anchor, so when you ride Death Anchor and you have the requirement met of 13 in soul and all the rear guards, you just kind of re-ride into him, eat the last rear guard that you have open, and with all the triggers that you stacked after filtering, you just kind of get a big number with a bonus crit off of him and off of the retire. And his secondary effect, when you have 2 or more grade 3s in soul, on attack, you can snipe a rear guard on your board or on their board, and it gets the static base power and crit that's on him. So against Force 2 clans like Bermuda, you can snipe one of their Karos or Sonatas in the front row, and you can gain that defensive bonus critical, so you get 13 and double crit, which would be really nice. Any protect 2 clans, you can snipe their front row rear guards. You get the protect 2 power along with their base power and critical status, which is really cool as well. And yeah, so protect markers. Depending on the matchup, You obviously just do whatever is based on your matchup. But actually, I think Protect 2 markers work very well. They hit really sound numbers. They usually hit perfect 28s, 32s, 33s. And yeah.
Now, what was your reason for not choosing the other grade 3, the Durant?
Uh, Which one?
The other grade 3.
The rare or the double rare?
The other VR, I'm sorry.
The other VR. Oh, Detarian. Okay.
Yeah, the Durant. What was your reason for not playing?
This is a more offensive build. I feel that Detarian can. Yeah, he has more offensive capabilities, but you have to parry. You have to pair him with I think with Doreen and with Creeper. And I don't run Doreen and Creeper in this build. This is more of a filter and punish build. You filter well with Rufus. You basically on your first grade 3 round, you can get 3 copies of 3. You can get almost 3 copies of 3 different cards in Soul already, and you can have him online to punish.
Okay.
You basically go into Death Anchor. You call this out. You punish with small numbers, but you force them to drop a lot. And then when they're at like little hand at the moment, you punish them then with either a re-ride with a crit with still the guard restrict up, or you do this and you just snipe something on your board or on their board, bonus crit, bonus power, still with the guard restrict up. He doesn't have to be on the board for it, so it's just on place for the rest of the turn. You're restricting their hand guarding potential while filtering your deck and making your drive checks more dangerous.
Okay. All right. Anything else you want to add on to the build, or?
If anything, if you wanted to, you could totally run a separate build with Detarian. I think Detarian's really cool. If anything else that you would like to add into the deck, maybe you could add Hope on Dump instead of this guy. Hope on Dump is the other grade 3 that came out in the new set, the double rare. If you have 20 in Soul on place, your opponent has to guard in addition to 20. All the cards that he guards have to be at the same time. So you can combo that with Hard Leg, and it's just kind of a brain-racking combo that you have to try and think about as the opponent. Like, how do I guard 3 cards exactly, or at least the 3 cards with guards of 20? It's kind of annoying. Personally, I feel that at the point where you get to Death Anchor and this, you just kind of already kill them. It's a little bit of overkill. This is more of a utility. I just like the utility of this card rather than the kill pressure of Hope on Dump, because this already kind of does enough kill pressure as it is.
Okay. All right, guys. If you guys like the deck profile, hit the like button. If you guys have any comments, leave a comment down below, and Jason will answer for you. Remember to subscribe to the channel for more videos. Hit the bell button if you want to see more videos, and yeah. All right, guys. We will see you guys next time.
Bye.